help you make sense of West Africa's investment world. This podcast is brought to you by Daba, your most comprehensive platform for investing in African stocks, bonds, and managed funds. You can download the Daba app on your favorite Google and Apple app stores. We're kicking off with some important signals on the market. Let's kick off this Monday, August 4th, with some good news for investors looking for opportunities. Despite a generally declining market, several stocks stood out today, and strong signals also emerged from the bond segment. So, what should you take away from this session? Stick around. We'll guide you through the day's top performances, sector trends, and what it all means for your portfolio. Welcome to Parlons Marchés, the podcast by Daba Finance. I'm your market editor, and here is your daily recap. Clear, simple, and always tuned to the pulse of Francophone Africa. Let's begin with the day's top gainers. Leading the pack, SAFCA Côte d'Ivoire surged by 6.98% to close at 920 francs CFA. An impressive performance, pushing its year-to-date gain to nearly 27.78%. For those looking for a solid industrial stock with strong upward momentum, SAFCA is definitely one to watch. Also in the spotlight, Sycor Côte d'Ivoire gained 2.80%, closing at 3,300 francs CFA. Although still down 17.50% for the year, today's rebound is a technical signal worth tracking. Bank of Africa Niger also performed well, rising 2.24% to 2,110 francs CFA. It's one of the few banking stocks to close in positive territory today, possibly signaling renewed interest in regional banking shares. In the textile sector, UNIWAX Côte d'Ivoire increased by 1.75% to 580 francs CFA. That brings its year-to-date gain to over 41.46%, a true sector success story. Finally, publishing company NEI CDA Côte d'Ivoire rose 1.69% to 600 francs CFA, a welcome boost for a stock still down 20% on the year. Let's now move on to the day's biggest losers. And there were quite a few. Topping the list of declines is CIE, the Ivorian electricity company, down 3.91% to 2,210 francs CFA. This drop confirms the pressure facing the utilities sector, which overall fell 3.32% today. Burnabe Côte d'Ivoire dropped 3.85% to 1,250 francs CFA, though it remains positive year-to-date. Aura Group Togo, a regional banking stock, fell 3.64% to 1,190 francs CFA, a concerning move within a financial sector that broadly declined today. BICI Côte d'Ivoire, one of the country's major banks, dropped 2.85% to 16,515 francs CFA. And finally, ONATEL Burkina Faso slipped 2.13% to 2,300 francs CFA, continuing its largely flat trajectory for the year. So, what happened with the market indices? The BRVM Composite closed at 311.29 points, down 0.58%. Still, that's a 12.78% increase since January. The BRVM 30, which tracks the 30 largest caps, fell 0.55% to 150.65 points. The BRVM Prestige Index, focused on the most liquid stocks, saw the sharpest drop, down 0.83%, ending at 128.20 points. The principal compartment also fell 0.68% to 187.73 points. All compartments and indices point to a market in a phase of consolidation following weeks of strong performance. Looking at trading volumes, the equity market recorded 160,415 shares, traded for a total value of 540,263,194 francs CFA. That's a marked drop from recent days, a clear sign that investors are waiting on the sidelines. Let's take a deeper look at sector indices. The financial services sector, traditionally a BRVM heavyweight, dropped 1.09%. Banks like SGBCI, BICI, and Ecobank Côte d'Ivoire all declined, suggesting some profit-taking amid high valuations. The industrial sector also fell by 1.27%. Stocks like SAPHCI and Filtasac led the pullback. In contrast, the basic consumer goods sector remained mostly flat, down just 0.08%, supported by stable performances from companies like SOGB and Nestlé Côte d'Ivoire. The energy sector held steady, with only a slight dip of 0.07%. Total Energies. Côte d'Ivoire and Vivo Energy saw little movement. Telecommunications slipped 0.23%, largely due to ONATEL and Orange CI. The latter has been under pressure since its peak in late 2022. Now, let's look at the bond market. And there's some noteworthy movement there too. A total of 15,966 bonds were traded, with a total transaction value of 75,750 lon 402 francs CFA. Bonds that saw trading included sovereign issues from Mali, such as the 10-year bond with a 6.50% coupon issued in 2023, and Senegal's 8-year bond with a 6.25% coupon. Treasury bonds from Niger and Burkina Faso also drew activity, reflecting ongoing interest in medium to long-term government debt, particularly those offering coupons above 6.50% annually. This shows that in times of market uncertainty, investors are leaning into bonds for their predictable yields and capital preservation. For more cautious investors, the bond market continues to offer consistent income and stability. This is also a strong reminder that diversification is essential. Stocks and bonds should go hand in hand in any long-term investment strategy. So, what's the key takeaway today? Despite an overall drop in indices, several stocks stood out and showed signs worth tracking. The market may be slowing, but it's not stalling. It's consolidating, repositioning. Long-term investors can find solid opportunities in stocks like UNIWAX or SAFCA and in high-yield sovereign bonds. And if you want to go further with expert insights and weekly recommendations, don't miss out on Daba Pro. Daba Pro is your premium subscription for in-depth analysis, exclusive market data, lower investment fees, and curated picks to help you get the best out of African markets. To get weekly recommendations, access exclusive insights, and reduce your investment fees, subscribe to Daba Pro. With Daba Pro, you don't just follow the markets, you stay ahead of them. That's all for today's episode. Thanks for listening to the Daba Markets Talk podcast. We'll be back tomorrow with another update. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a rating, follow us, and share with friends. Remember, this information is for educational purposes. Always do your own research or consult with a financial advisor before making investment decisions. And download the Daba app on your app store to start investing in African stocks, bonds, and manage portfolios through your phone and find other helpful content. Until next time, keep learning and keep growing your financial knowledge.